exciting?
Yeah.
Look at that. This is great, huh? Hey, you should know this. Tank loves you.
In 2007's Surf Up, we got to know Cody Maverick, a 17-year-old northern rock hopper penguin who lives in a town called Shiverpool in Antarctica, with his mother and his older brother, who is visited by a reality film crew who began filming a documentary about his aspiration to make it as a surfer.
When is this not happening?
What? Don't make that noise.
We see Cody's whole journey and the lessons he learns when he meets his lifelong idol, who the whole world thinks is dead. This is a movie that strikes for its originality, freshness, and unique storytelling that keeps us entertained from the second.
Just give me the tools, please. Sheesh.
All right, here, take it.
The movie has its secrets and details worth mentioning, so come with us as we tell you about the secrets you missed in Surf's Up.
Kissing her. You can't have her!
Right from the start, the movie differentiates itself from other animated movies we've seen before, and it accomplishes that by creating the whole narrative from an unusual point of view. The story is presented along with the conventions of a mockumentary, fake documentary, or docu-comedy, which according to Wikipedia is an A type of film or television show depicting fictional events but presented as a documentary.
I could tell. He needed some space and, some time to himself.
That's why we always see interviews, characters talking directly to the camera, and even some on-screen titles and characters' names. It's like we're watching what the film crew is watching as they film a documentary about Z's life. This kind of presentation can be seen in modern comedy shows like The Office, Parks and Recreation, and Modern Family, which have been successful representations of the style of narrative. It's a really original way to present an animated movie, and it helps in keeping a good pace full of interesting and comedic bits all the time. It's also used as an effective way of presenting exposition, primarily about Z's life or Cody's infancy, without getting boring or feeling disjointed. The action gets so lifelike looking that they even use an in-hand shaky camera style for the moments of great tension or commotion, which looks really awesome and natural. Add funny questions from the interviewers when you least expect it, and you have a blast since minute one. Special mentions for those times the natives break the camera or hurt the cameraman. It's hilarious. It was really painful seeing Cody fail so catastrophically in the first standoff against Tank, but to be honest, the replays that the documentary guys give us are pure comedy gold. Anyway, what happened to Cody hurt much than the shame of almost dying on film before being able to catch any waves. But what is this thing he stepped on? After its hilarious interview, see, gone, broken, 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 gone, we see he stepped on an animal called a fire urchin. This animal is real, and stepping on one of them is no game. As a matter of fact, if Lanny hadn't taken care of Cody, he would have died. These guys' prods are full of a potent venom that can cause paralysis, respiratory failure, tissue necrosis when skin cells don't get enough oxygen or blood and they die, and even death. So Cody was really lucky that the other penguin urinated on his wound. Yeah, that's what happens in the dark scene, perpetrating the worldwide known myth showing that peeing on a jellyfish sting helps to ease the pain. This is a very brief joke, and it's easy to miss if you're not really attentive, and it's also a dark joke.
He never really knew his father.
Let's see. Remember that at some point when we're attending Cody's introduction, he talks about the quirks of living with his family and growing up with his older brother, and according to his mother's words, barely managing to survive after his father died. He tells us how his father was eaten like many other penguins have, and when the cameraman asks him about the underlying trauma, he just denies having suffered any trauma at all. Well, when he meets Chicken Joe, they instantly click and become friends, and we see their friendship evolve through the movie. But what's really interesting is that he shares the same orphanhood condition, as he's also lost his parent. Chicken Joe reveals this to the film crew as he walks through the jungle and is asked about his motives to look for Cody. He responds, even when they've known each other for like a day or so, they've got a lot in common, and they just leave it all clear when he says, "I never knew my father either." And the screen shows this image of another chicken named Bob being the cover picture of a bucket of fried chicken. Man, that's a dark and effective joke. We wonder what the kids think about it. Tank is a whole other level of weirdness. Besides being the ultimate surf jock who beat Z in the past, he has been in the absolute top for the best decade and only one trophy away from completing a shrine dedicated to the 10 best of them. So far so good, right? Simply put, the guy is on top of his game and is an overachiever, but his obsession with trophies makes us think he's an early example of something we currently see mainly in the world of esport, where we get people absolutely bonkers over the need of accumulating trophies, badges, and achievements, forgetting the actual fun of the experience. But Tank goes even beyond this. Did you notice he seems to be genuinely mad about his trophies? Mad like in deranged. The guy talks to them, refers to them as his ladies, and names them using real ladies' names. The movie does a great job making us feel very uncomfortable with the way he interacts with his trophies, and we're sure that all this stuff about polishing his trophies is, well, too much for a kid's movie. That's for sure. That's why we're not going to get into deeper detail into explaining why we think he's a complete objectophile. Cody tried to brush off feelings or repressed memories he might have had when he talked about his father's death, but it's obvious he hasn't overcome that, as the film crew wants to believe. The subject is quickly forgotten until realizing Geek is really hiding Z out from the world, as Z initially refuses to train him and Cody thinks he's going to lose his newfound friendship with his life idol. He bitterly says to himself it's hard enough losing one dad. The cameraman hears this and tries to get more of him. What do you mean by that? To which Cody immediately shuts down again, saying nothing, man, forget it. And the movie seems to forget it, only that it doesn't, as in every good screenplay, the movie shows us the evolution of the relationship between Z and Cody that obviously works in deep levels within Cody's mind.
I'm standing where Z stood.
Z's his idol, his friend, and in some way a father figure, the guy who teaches him to build a board, to ride the waves, to find happiness in the simple things and understand that having a good time and helping friends is more important than trophies and contests. Here's another subtle detail that adults might have noticed and enjoyed about the movie. Joe's personality is not out of the blue. It's not that the guy is hyperactive yet totally disoriented, or that he's always has the munchies and having to pick something to eat. Heck, even this whole subplot of looking for Cody in the jungle, which is one of the most hilarious things in the movie, is fueled by this secret. We don't want to completely give it away, so you can discover it by yourself, but we can tell you that only someone assiduous to ingesting large quantities of some famous type of medicinal herb could be as absent-minded as Joe. He never realizes the cannibals are cooking him, he doesn't even realize that, and he wins the contest, and when he does, he's so relaxed about it. We're sure you already got a secret. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Did you catch all these secrets and surfs up? We hope you enjoyed this fantastic movie as much as we did and learned a thing or two from it. Just remember, always try to find the joy and fun in the things you do. It's the only way to enjoy being number one or number two or no number at all. It doesn't matter. Check the rest of our videos for more awesome content about your favorite animated movies. And of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn your notifications on by hitting that bell if you want to keep receiving awesome content like this.
Stress is killing me. I don't know how much longer I can last. I have to tell you that right now.